Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around. I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too!
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarant?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-makers. And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better than wasting time persuading Chlorand at any rate.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up. And smile. How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it? Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Chlorand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin who told Monsieur Nervillet, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Welcome to our gathering place. Is there anything you'd like me to explain to you?
Oh, it's okay. We're just taking a look around.
Well, that's not a bad. I'm sure Mr. Dugier has already explained some of it, but allow me to fill you in some more. Besides this space, which our members use to rest and relax, we also have an entertainment room, a fitness room, and a self-study room. These rooms are open to all of our members. We want everyone to be able to use their free time to the fullest.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do you have a restaurant too? If you did, you...
Unfortunately, we don't. We started a collaboration with the cafeteria a while back, though, so...
Yeah, Paimon can definitely see how it'd be easier to live your life if you had all this support.
Yep, and that's exactly why Mr. Dugier founded the society. We all think we made the correct choice to join him.
Hey, you there, newbie!
Hello?
Yep, I'm talking... Ha! That's how I pump myself up every day. With one shout, you can release all the fatigue, resentment, and unpleasantness from your lungs. Why don't you also give it a try? Just remember to take a deep breath.
Alright, we've talked to everybody. That would explain why Risley only had good things to say about this place. Huh. It looks like they're starting to wrap up their conversation as well. Let's go.
Of course, Your Grace. I will attend to those matters right away.
Okay, and I don't have anything else to add. Oh, you're back. What did you think about this place? Now, note that your opinion will also affect my review of Dugier and the society as a whole.
Wait, I didn't know they were also a part of the evaluation process. It's all right with me, though.
Paimon thinks it's pretty good. Don't think anyone expected you to get a society going here of all places.
So it's...
The prisoners here all have very different personalities. Our needs are like violent, but if we can play... Which is why, in my opinion, learning to reconcile with oneself is the first step on the path to redemption.
You've hit the nail on the head, Your Grace. Before I founded the society, I had met too many people who could not come to terms with themselves. And I'm sure that a part of your support is rooted in your desire to help those people find their way.
And Paimon thought everyone was enjoying life just fine, working and fighting.
Of course, that lifestyle is more than enough for some people in the fortress.
Speaking of fighting, I'm not...
What? You fight in the ring too?
Oh, I almost never need them.
Hey, isn't that the guy who lost his hat? What's wrong? Did you forget about us already?
Are you feeling all right? You are looking a little pale.
No, I'm fine. Thank you for helping me get my hat back. I'm sorry, but...
He's still as weird as before.
Dugier, do you know what's up with him?
I'm also not too sure about that. As far as I recall, he's always been a little strange, but I'll check up on him later. After all, it's my responsibility as the leader to make sure that no one falls through the crack.
We'll leave him to you then. Where were we before we got sidetracked? Oh, right, about that. And when emotions run high, things often spiral out of control. Sometimes you might need more than just gloves as well. This pair of handcuffs has also come in handy quite a number of times. Oops.
Oh, isn't that awful gem? You're still carrying it with you?
Yeah, I kept it on me because of its special qualities. It won't affect me as long as I don't let it come into contact with my skin.
Go on, you guys. Pick up the item for His Grace, would you?
Yes, right away.
That gem shines with quite the dazzling light. I hope it hasn't been damaged. Your Grace, please let me know.
It still looks good to me. Say, Dugier, have you ever seen a gem like this?
Never, Your Grace. Don't think I've ever been rich enough to afford this kind of a thing.
I guess that's fair. We've already gone over...
Got it, Your Grace. Take care, everyone. I'll take you to the exit. Traveler, Paimon, it was an honor. I'm sure everyone would love it if you were to visit again. And that goes for you as well.
And same to you.
Paimon doesn't think we made any plans for the rest.
Well, what's your opinion of this society?
Paimon thinks it's pretty chill. Paimon doesn't remember exactly what you said. There's only one potential.
But at this point in time, they're still reducing my workload by managing and rehabilitating prisoners in my stead. I wanted to see just how much they've managed to accomplish, and also get a sense of Dugier's plans for the future. I arranged for a meeting out of curiosity, but
Dissonant?
I'm sure the Traveler has sensed. As expected, you also picked up on. The whole truth is a bit complicated. I'd hoped to take care of it in secret. Why don't you take this opportunity to, if my hypothesis is, and with his watchful eye removed,
Can't you just...
I'm just following the most popular playbook in Fontaine. It's been so long since I got to watch a performance at Opera Epiclese that I've even begun to miss. I'll explain everything to you later. But right now, we need to find out what you can from them now while they're all in one.
It's just as Risley said. You said you felt there was something off about this. Paimon will do her best to help.
Wait, you guys are...
We're really sorry. We just realized that...
Oh, okay.
Nobody? It's okay. There's no need to be nervous. It's not like we lost. We'll just look for it ourselves if none of you caught it.
I'll go find Mr. Dugier.
No need. We're just looking for something. We can look Hey!
What do you want?
Isn't this how you greeted us earlier?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You sure are fast. I ate something earlier, so you're looking for something, you said?
Hey, hello? Anyone home?
Hello? How can I help you? The Beret Society offers a variety of resources and...
You don't know...
sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just...
Are you still organizing the bookshelves?
Yeah, and... I'm sorry.
We weren't thinking about that to begin with, but weren't you?
Sorry.
Okay, Paimon sees what you meant now. Seems like they really don't want to talk to us, so let's just head back.
Oh, you're back. How were things at their headquarters?
It was as if they had all turned into completely different people.
That would prove my suspicions. The dissonance I mentioned earlier was precisely that fleeting moment of fear behind the cheerful facade.
Right. He was acting super...
And that's precisely why...
Oh, so the one who started it all? It was you all along!
It's because I wanted to figure out what's... I don't believe any of Dugier's talk about unstable mental states. Not too long. Dugier made very elaborate preparations for my visit. But I don't know.
Okay, but if you think something's... Aren't you the Duke? You can do whatever...
Well, maybe you're actually a better fit for the position than I am. Just give me the word and I'll hand you the cuffs. In all seriousness, however, cuffs and the like should be used sparingly. They're mostly for show. Everything I do is on display. The way people see me act determines, and I've always striven to appear fair and reasonable to the people.
That sounds a bit deep.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I have to lead by example if I want to maintain expectations of justice and order. And that's why, even though Dugier had already let a few things slip, I didn't want to turn on him without irrefutable evidence.
Alright, so you're saying Dugier has figured out some way to control the members of his society. And even though the members are acting all optimistic and motivated, it's all just a show.
Indeed. He certainly seems to be using some coercive methods to turn his members into the most upbeat and motivated group of people you've ever seen. I have some faith, though, that some of the members understood the hint I gave during our visit. The line has been set, and it's quite likely that a fish will bite.
Fish? Bite?
Let's give them some time. My guards will need it to finish their investigation, too. You can find me in my office when the time comes.
Hey! Don't just leave before you've explained everything to Paimon! Hey! Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steamboat?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier.
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it.
No, I just...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be the boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Still, if I might have...
Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Sigewinne.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Sigewinne. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Huh? Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lurvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, just pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two. I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended...
Oh, actually, what about you?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. Until then. All right, last stop, the docks. Mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you. Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please.
You sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll be...
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler? Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's Gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Well, that's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit...
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the Fortress of Meripede a while back.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The Gnosis was given to the Knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the Traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as Harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. I guess this must be life. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so...
Well, guess we sent Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see what Neville's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway. of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real human. Hang on a second. Paimon said back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans.
Life has always flowed like water. Do you?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, no manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Iudex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon Wait, but the various Maxim machines in the city are...
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomat...
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume? I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon's still got a question about Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that we guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui. So regarding this specific issue, I was just... In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nerval?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of... Regardless, You should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could...
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here. I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. No, let's not think about this comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all. That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and...
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is...
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's...
Yes.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human.
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what, ultimately, is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us? It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan.
Finally... Paimon has no idea what that guy's thinking. Let's just go find him and ask him what he's really up to.
Oh, here you are. Did you manage to land a lucky pull on the welfare meals tonight?
Let's just get straight to the point. Has anything else happened with the society?
Patience, Paimon. Even as the situation continues to brew, we still need to make sense of what we learned so far and go over any sticking points. I'm actually still thinking about the first thing that came to my mind when I noticed something amiss. Namely, why didn't anyone come to me about it?
Oh, that's a good point. Could whatever they're afraid of be so powerful that even you won't be able to do anything about it?
But even if such a thing existed, how could they be so sure without checking with me first? It'd be one thing if it was just one or two people, but it seems like everyone's convinced that I won't be able to help. Which leads me to believe that it's more likely that they think I just wouldn't care to help them. Yes, something like that. Dugier must have told them something to make them think I won't take their side. So it became imperative for me to refute that and prove my true stance. Of course, I had originally planned to do this in a more covert way, but I had to improvise when you identified the guy who'd lost his hat with everyone present. There was no way to keep our investigation a secret after that.
That makes sense. Wait, then does that mean it was all Paimon's fault?
The last thing that guy wanted was for Dugier to find out that he'd lost it. He would have never brought the matter up on his own. But now, not only has Dugier found out that he'd lost his hat, he's also realized that we were the ones who found it. That likely set his internal alarms off all at once. Yes, that's the conclusion I came to as well. It's the only thing that could explain the fear. If we didn't act right then and there, Dugier would probably come up with some other way to hide the truth and we'd be back. So after giving the matter some thought, I tossed that black gem onto the ground. I must say, I was pretty satisfied with the results.
Ah, so you did that on...
Yes, that's right. Of course, that box was discovered as part of our investigation of the society. I had no way to know if any of the members had actually seen the gem before, but since I had to do something, I did right. And since I was traveling with you, heroes who have never turned a blind eye to evil and injustice, they would also understand that we're here to help, rather than to tolerate or uphold the status quo.
You used us as a part of your plan too!
My apologies. There was no time and quite a lot to explain, but I can assure you that I've now told you everything there is to know. Of course, you're under no obligation, but I would really appreciate it if you could continue to lend me your support and help me figure out the true secret behind this. Would you be willing to lend me your support?
But Paimon's still mad at you!
You have my thanks. Now, there are still two outstanding matters in our investigation. I've examined one before. There was nothing suspicious about the item itself. The other is the true purpose of the black gem. We haven't been able to get anything out of anyone with actual knowledge of it. It's my hope that a brave fish will take my bait and venture outside of their dark and murky pool. I'll put some music on while we wait.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but may I come in?
I'm afraid that someone's been following me.
Please, do.
I apologize for my lack of composure. These two... Yes, my lover Fasol told me all about you. Please, help us, Your Grace. He's in great danger right now.
Slow down, take a deep breath.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I will try.
You mean when we saw him at the gathering?
Yes, he fled immediately. But many members are hot on his heels. Thankfully, he still managed to meet up with me and explain. Now that he's lost Dugier's trust, what awaits him is
Censure?
Censure is Dugier's method of establishing control, rather than listening to me explain what it is. Every secret may be found within...
Here you are. I was wondering where you had run off to in such a hurry. Please excuse us, Your Grace. It was never our intention to disturb you like this. You see, Avisa's mental state has been rather unstable ever since she arrived at the fortress. She rambles often, has hallucinations. It may be best to dismiss her babbling as random gibberish.
I don't recall hearing a knock or giving permission for you to come in.
Oh, my apologies. I merely did not wish for Your Grace to be alarmed. Had I not been so focused on recovering her, I would have followed all the rules of etiquette to the letter. So please, forgive my discourtesy.
Like we believe you.
Please, there's no need to be upset. It's only natural to want to side with the poor sick girl, but...
Well then, what if the reasonable man wants to hear the lunatic out?
That would be perfectly fine with me. Oh, and just so you know, we've also found the missing Mr. Fasol. Thankfully, he has already returned to his senses. We've brought him back to our place, so there's no need to worry.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I don't have anything more to say.
This is what you're afraid of, correct? You can tell me everything. I'll do all I can for you.
I've never seen that thing in my life.
Your Grace, I don't think there's anything else she would like.
It's all right, Avise. As long as you tell me what it is that you're terrified of, no matter what it is, it will no longer be able to hurt you.
Your Grace! Forget it. I'll keep my mouth shut. I've already said everything I could say.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but I really don't have anything more to say. Please, don't press me further.
But why?
In that case, Avise and I will be off. Once again, please accept my apology.
Miss Avise, please show me your head. That is an order. There's nothing there.
Your Grace, I know you have long tired of my words, but please believe me when I say you've merely let your worries get to your head. The Society has never caused trouble for you or any of the guards at the fortress. Why are you doing everything in your power to prove our guilt? What's wrong with the current state of affairs? I'll do anything for you, as long as you give me the word.
Your words bore me. You know the consequences if I find you to be lying.
Everything that I do for the Fortress of Meripede. But Your Grace is welcome to visit us any time to confirm the true intent of our activities. All right, Avise. Let's head back.
Just what's up with that guy? He makes Paimon really, really mad. We should have shown him his place.
Sooner or later, all will pay the price for their arrogance. He must have been well prepared for this exact scenario, or he wouldn't have dared to be so openly hostile. All the more reason for us to be patient. The entire society are his hostages. His subordinates would definitely react if he were taken into custody. And that's why he dared to bare his fangs right in front of me. The true secret of the Society is neither on the hat nor... Dugier probably knew this from the very beginning, which is why he didn't panic. However, if we were to look at the rules, it would also seem like the head has to be the place where they're keeping all of their secrets.
Yeah, none of this makes sense to Paimon either. What are they trying to hide?
But if there's nothing on her head... I can't seem... But if there's nothing on her head, why did Avise feel the need to remove her hat?
I have an idea, but...
Huh? What is it? Tell Paimon about it!
You mean this thing? So, she handed a key piece of evidence over to us without Dugier noticing. That would mean that Avise didn't stay silent out of fear. Let me take a look. I managed to remove this from the hair clip. It's long, slender, and conical. It's hollow.
Paimon...
Let's see.
Hey, what are you doing? Wait. Some kind of dark... And some of it has been absorbed by this thorny-looking thing.
You've probably heard before that water is filled with the strongest emotions of humanity. With that in mind, this liquid is probably a highly concentrated solution of fear.
Oh, so that's why even touching it will make you remember unpleasant...
Dugier would be able to censure others. I can only imagine how it would feel to have this directly injected into your brain. The moment it hits you would be like being flooded with all the terrors you've ever experienced in your life. Agony, desolation, and an overwhelming sense of despair.
So, was the hat meant to...
That might not even be all. We can't let Dugier escape with all of the...
Your Grace, we have taken the Society members into custody. They all tried to flee just a little while ago, as if they had received some kind of order. We decided to forestall their plan, and were just about to send the word when you unexpectedly arrived.
Great work, everyone.
You had prepared for something like this all along.
I had them stay here to keep an eye on things, so I'm glad. Perform a thorough search of the Society's headquarters in
Understood, Your Grace.
Now, let's check on them. As expected, they all have a hollow thorn inserted into a wound on their head.
Ooh! Paimon's glad her eyesight isn't so good that she can see it from here. Paimon's gonna float away for a bit.
They probably left it there as a lasting reminder of Dugier's censure. These people must have had to endure an unimaginable amount of pain. Let's go check out the other areas, too.
Hey, come here. Have a look at this.
Look at what I found. This is a surveillance port. With this, Dugier would be able to remotely monitor. So even if Dugier's not there in person, he'll still always have eyes. Indeed. It's easy to become lost in and if any action you take may be deemed a mistake. And perhaps it's better to do less. Dugier has already tamed them to his will.
This is a book that Paimon found in a box next to the bookshelf. Its contents are exactly the same as this book on the shelf. The colors of the covers are completely different, though, and the names of the authors also don't match up. Yeah, and they dared to claim that they wrote these too. Huh!
Your Grace, Your Grace!
What's the matter?
We couldn't find any society members in the other areas. It also seems like none of the equipment in those rooms were ever used. All the signs of wear and tear are fake. The line scale, the layers of dust, they were all deliberately added. We also investigated the members' residences and weren't able to find anything. Their neighbors all say that they haven't returned home for ages.
Oh. Is that right?
They're gone? That could only mean...
Indeed. As long as he allowed society members to mingle with others, even with threats. Meanwhile, this marvelous gathering place will lose all of its value as soon. So instead of being his real base, this is just an elaborate performance. The rest area is the fancy equipment, and only the most docile and well-trained
But then, where can we...
Dugier must be holding all the rest of his members in another place. And if the overseer of he must be in Dugier's pocket. I'm of the same mind. Let's go.
Did that person flee here?
That's the most likely scenario to me. Let's keep heading down. We should be on the right track. Let's go. We can take this path.
Look! There's a fallen guard over there! Paimon sees some society members too!
After them!
It's rising! Run!
Did Dugier send you? Why did you attack that
Come on! It's time to talk!
I will take your cooperation into consideration.
Mr. Dugier, he didn't want this guy to We were just about to dispose of him when you...
So, in other words, your headquarters should be this way?
Yes, it's just down this way. You'll make it there once you see...
Guards, take them away. Let's go. It's about time that we find...